Good day, students. So we are at lesson 4 now, study unit 4, and we'll be doing the 3 cases. Now, Arabic has 3 cases. They are called the nominative, the accusative, and the genitive. So why is this important? Because knowing the cases means that you know what kind of sound to put at the end of a word. So for example, take the word kitab. It can be kitabun, as here. Kitabun. Let's get this pencil over here. Or it can be kitaban. See it there. Or it can be kitabin, as we see over there. So these are different sounds. The word kitab ends in these different sounds, and the reason they end in these different sounds, and by the way, it can be kitaba, al-kitaba, al-kitabu, al-kitaba, or al-kitabi as well. And the reason they end in these different sounds is because they're in one of three cases. Now, when the noun here ends in un or u, if it's kitabun or al-kitabu, it has the u sound because it is in the nominative case. When it has an a sound, when it's al-kitaba, when it's kitaban or kitaba, al-kitaba, then it has that sound because it is in the accusative case. And when it's al-kitabi or kitabin, it has the sound because it is in the genitive case. So the next question naturally is, what are these particular cases? Let's start with the nominative case. The nominative case is most commonly used for the subject in a sentence. So in a sentence like Hassan is a boy, Hassan is the subject, and the subject always takes the u sound, it takes the dhamma. So you say Hassanun, okay, and the reason we say Hassanun here is because Hassan is a name. Hassanun waladun, Hassan is a boy. And so because it is the subject of a sentence, it takes the dhamma, the u sound. But the nominative is also used for the predicate. Now, in the above sentence, is a boy predicate, what comes after is here, a boy, is also takes the fatha. In the above example, waladun, okay, Hassan waladun, waladun has a dhamma as well. In other words, in the nominative, the subject and the predicate. The predicate is what comes, what comes after is. The subject and the predicate take the u sound, the dhamma. Now, the accusative is used for objects. In Arabic, this means something done to something else. So for example, when you say Hassan eats the food, Hassan, he's the subject, okay, of the sentence. He's the doer in the sentence, and he's eating the food. And so the food gets eaten. So the food is being acted on. The food is the object. And so because it is the object, it takes it is accusative, and it takes the sound. So for example, we have the boy, al-waladu. Okay, that's the subject of the sentence, and the boy is eating. So akal al-waladu. Akala means to eat. So akal al-waladu, the boy eats. In Arabic, the verb always goes before the noun. Normally goes before the noun. Akal al-waladu, so the boy eats. But what is he eating? He's eating food, at-ta'am, but the food is being acted on. You know, something's being done to the food. So it takes the sound. The sound there. Akal al-waladu at-ta'am. So, in other words, the boy or the actor in the sentence, the subject of the actor in the sentence, you know, there's the one who does something, is doing something to the food. And so that is why at-ta'ama takes the fatha, the sound in the end. And this means it is in the accusative. The best way to actually get used to this type of thing is by going through the examples, the revision exercises that are attached to this particular study unit, and you'll get a feeling for how to apply the accusative, the nominative, and the genitive. What is the genitive? The genitive occurs, is used in two ways. One is simply, the easy way is simply after a preposition. So for example, we have these prepositions in Arabic like from, min, ila, to, fi, in, and so on. And any word that comes after a preposition takes the E sound, takes a genitive. So for example, al-kitabu, the book, this is the subject of the sentence, is on the table. Al-ma'idatina. Ala means on, and it's a preposition. So whatever comes after the preposition takes a fatha. Takes a kasra. That's an E sound. So al-kitabu ala al-ma'idati. And this of course also applies to the indefinite. So we can say a book is on the table, is on a table. Kitabin, a book. Ala, this is wrong here. This is supposed to be kitabun. Kitabun, that's because it's a subject of a sentence. Kitabun, a book, is on a table. Ala ma'idatin. Okay. Now we come to something a bit more tricky with regard to the genitive, and this is called the genitive of possession. And this is something that you slowly get used to. So for example, the genitive of possession is also called an idafa construction. It refers to a situation where two nouns are next to each other and one noun owns the other noun. So for example, or belongs to the other noun. So for example, let's first use an English example. If we say the house's door, okay, or the door of the house. Here we mean the door belongs to the house, the door of the house. Now in Arabic, what we do is that the way we say this sentence, the door of the house, is by putting the two nouns door and house next to each other. So for example, you have bab, which means door, the door, al-bayti, of the house. Okay, and now because the house, the door belongs to the house is takes a genitive, takes a kasra T sound. But there are various other rules to remember. The first one is that if you look at that expression on top, the babu, you'll see it's babu, but there's no al here. Because the idafa construction, the first noun in an idafa construction, the first noun in a genitive construction, does not take an al. But it means the al is hidden. It means the door, but there's no al in an idafa construction, in the first noun of the idafa construction. So we have babu. So the singular u here, the singular u refers to the fact that it's definite. So we say it's the door of the house. The second noun has, though, the al. It does have the al, and the door of the house, and we'll find here, the second noun, as we said, it takes a kasra because, it owns the door. Okay, the house owns the door. The door belongs to the house, so it's showing possession. And so that is why it takes this E sound here. And so the second part of the idafa has a kasra of the E sound. The E sound. Nothing, this is another rule here, nothing can come between the first and the second part of an idafa, of a genitive construction. Okay. If an adjective needs to describe the nouns in an idafa, it comes after them. For example, say you want to say the big door of the house. Now normally an adjective comes, if you say the big door, you'll say al-babu, okay, al-babu al-qadimu. So you'll put something like al-babu al-qadimu, and but in an idafa construction, nothing can come between the door here, bab, and the house. So that is why the adjective has to come after the whole construction, al-qadimu. So it takes the dhamma, al-qadimu takes the dhamma because it's describing the door, but it comes after the whole construction here. Babul, okay, so if we want to say the door of the old house, we would write something like Babul Baitil Qadimi. Now here we're describing the house, okay, not the door now, and we want to say the door of the old house, but we still have to put the adjective after the construction, and here it fits naturally. Babul Baiti al-Qadimi, and the Qadimi shows that it's a verb, it's an adjective that is in agreement with this particular noun here. Because when the noun is in a genitive, then the adjective has to be in a genitive, and similarly if the noun is in a nominative or accusative, then the genitive also has to be in one of those two states. So I know it's not easy to get this the first time, but I'd encourage you to go through the revision exercises, as well as this book that we've talked about, Ahmed and Ehud. If you want more details at this stage, not compulsory, but it's nice if you can get hold of this book, and it will really help you get to grips with that particular topic. Finally, I think we should just mention that there are certain things, certain words in the indefinite that are written, from that are written in a different way when they're written in the indefinite. Let's explain this correctly. For example, say you get the book, the word kitabun, which is normal, kitaban, kitabin. These are words that are indefinite and they are called declinable. Now there are certain other words which are also indefinite but which break from this rule. So for example, angry is za'alan. Za'alanu is angry. In the accusative it is za'alana, and in the genitive it is za'alana as well. Now there are two things here that's happening. Is that if you look at kitabun, kitaban, kitabin, these are words that are standard indefinite nouns. A book, a book, a book. Now this here also is actually, these words are also actually in the indefinite form. But do you notice two things? One is that they don't take the double sound. So it's not za'alanun or za'alanan or za'alanin. It's za'alanu, za'alana, za'alana. This is called a diptote. The other feature of a diptote is that in the genitive it doesn't become za'alani, it remains za'alana, like in the accusative. So those are two things that you should be aware of, because it affects, some of the rules in a sentence. So for example, if you say min rajulin, from a man, from an angry man. Now za'alana here is indefinite, from an angry man. It's an adjective, and it's the adjective of the noun a man, rajulin. But you notice here it says za'alana. Why? Because it's in the genitive form, and so as we saw there, a diptote that's in the genitive form has to remain with the accusative, with the fatha sound, za'alana. And of course, it just takes a single sound, za'alana, not za'alanan. So those are the kind of rules that one needs to bear in mind, and you'll slowly get accustomed to words that are diptotes. You'll come across them with experience. Importantly though, to remember that these only apply to words that are indefinite. They don't apply to words that are definite. So for example, az-za'alanu, az-za'alana, az-za'alani, these remain the same. Okay, that's all for now, folks.